pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I pledge allegiance to the flag, one state, under God, one indivisible.
Please join me as I pray. Again, Father, we're thankful for the blessings of this day. We're thankful for this rain that you've sent on us, and heaven knows we needed it. And I'm reminded of the old hymn that used to be sung. It says, "Count your blessings, name them one by one." And Lord, sometimes in this world we live in, it's easy to look around and see all the things we don't have and all the troubles and heartaches that we see. And it brings us to depression. And sometimes we lose hope, but we need to count our blessings to lift our spirits and to thank you for all the many blessings you give us for living in this great country and this great state and community that we live in. And we need to have hope, Lord, that there is better times ahead. And we pray for these commissioners. They have tough decisions to make, and a lot of them are decisions they would not like to make, but in their position, they need to and they have to. So we pray that you shower them with your wisdom this morning so that they might consider each item and make decisions that benefit the citizens of this county. For it's in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Roll call.
Commissioner Cheney,
Here.
Commissioner Casterline,
Here.
Commissioner Russo. Here. Commissioner Dutnick,
Here.
Judge Garza.
Here. Got a full court. Do we have any citizens to be heard? County Clerk, did anybody turn anything in? Nope. All right. We'll move on to presentations and proclamations. Do we have we don't do a motion or anything. All right, first one is a presentation from the Texas DOT to end the streak. Morning, Mr. Cox.
I think so.
There you go.
No, it is.
All right, good morning. Honorable Judge Garza, esteemed members of Aransas County Commissioners Court, community leaders, and fellow citizens. My name is Danny Cox, the Maintenance Administrator for the Texas Department of Transportation out of the Corpus Christi District, and also a local citizen here in Aransas County. I'm here this morning to talk about a critical issue that affects us all, the safety of our roadways. Since November 7th, 2000, not a single day has passed without the loss of life on Texas roads. This relentless streak of fatalities is a somber reflection of the risks that lurk on our highways. That's over 2 decades of daily tragedy, a narrative that TxDOT is determined to change. In response to this urgent issue, TxDOT launched the End the Streak campaign. This initiative is not just about statistics, it's about people, it's about our families, friends, and neighbors. The campaign's mission is to turn every Texan's attention to the grim reality that the choices we make on the road have life or death consequences. This past February, we almost witnessed the end of this harrowing streak. For just one day, Texas recorded a single fatality only, far below the daily average. While this is a small victory, it is a poignant reminder that our collective efforts in engineering, education, and enforcement are not in vain. They can yield results, they can save lives. But let's be clear, the streak continues, and with it, the loss of over 83,000 lives since its beginning. That's over 3,600 lives each year. Each one is a heartbreak, each one is a life unfilled. TxDOT has pledged an unprecedented $17 billion over a 10-year period for safety improvements across our great state. We're not just talking about wider roads and clearer signs, though these are part of it. We're talking about increasing pavement, striping size, adding rumble strips, constructing roundabouts, and implementing a safer by design program. These measures, though they might seem small, are significant steps toward our safety goals. Yet infrastructure alone won't end this streak. It takes a conscious commitment from every driver. Nearly half of the roadway deaths in Texas involve individuals not wearing seatbelts. This fact alone should be a stark reminder of the control we have over our safety and the impact of our decisions. TxDOT is urging every Texan to become a champion of road safety and the impact of our decisions. TxDOT is, we ask that you make wise decisions behind the wheel, drive sober, obey traffic laws, and buckle up. Support the In the Street Texas campaign on social media by posting pictures with the dedicated sign available on txdot.gov. Share your personal stories to underscore the significance of this initiative. Engage with TxDOT online, amplify our messages, and become part of the solution. Together, we do have the power to make a difference. By supporting TxDOT's mission, not only do we raise awareness, but we also forge a collective force capable of saving lives. In Aransas County, let us lead by example, let us be the change, and let us be the community that helps to end the streak of daily deaths on Texas roads. Thank you for your attention, your support, and your commitment to this life-saving cause. And in closing, I don't have the statistics specifically for Aransas County, but there are crashes here. We all know there are deaths here. And so the reason that this campaign, this initiative was pushed down from Austin to the locals is to get out into our communities, just to be seen, to make a presence, and so that everyone in this room and listening online can take this home and share it with their families and know that, like it said, over half of them are caused by not wearing seatbelts, and then a lot of them by driver error as well. So that'll conclude my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cox. Appreciate everything y'all do.
Judge?
You got a photo op with you?
Judge,
All right. Yes,
I'd
sir.
like to say,
Yes, sir.
want to thank TxDOT at Highway 35 North and Park Road 13 in Lamar. The locals just installed some lane dividers. And it's going to take some getting used to, but it's going to make that intersection a lot safer. So thank you for that. And I know y'all are also looking at installing a caution light back there again too, probably. Thank you.
Thank you.
Precinct 1, everything south, all the stuff that TxDOT has done and how they work with our road and bridge people. That's a breath of fresh air. I mean, I had constant complaints down there about trying to get on 35 Coast Road, and it's very difficult. You can still be difficult if you're driving like an idiot, but it's a lot better, and I look forward to that road getting widened because the growth is very significant down that area. And I thank you especially, Danny, because I know that you kind of led that fight, and the Senton office worked with road and bridge engineer, Mr. Reed, a lot. I was really appreciative of that.
Thank y'all for the recognition. We'll make sure it gets to all the people that took part in that. Thank y'all.
Thank you. We're going to go to item number 2 before we take a photo, and that's the proclamation. We need a
I
motion.
move to accept proclamation P 21/2023, recognizing the month of November 2023 as the Texas Department of Transportation's End the Street Safety Campaign.
Second,
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. This is Proclamation P 21/2023. Whereas the aim of the Texas Department of Transportation's In the Street Safety Campaign is to reduce the number of daily deaths on Texas roadways and ultimately end the streak of daily fatalities. And whereas Texas Transportation Commissioners, the Texas Department of Transportation, the TxDOT Corpus Christi District, and Aransas County are fully committed to supporting TxDOT's In the Street campaign. And whereas the last day without a traffic fatality on Texas roadways occurred on November 7th, 2000. Whereas in the year 2022 alone, traffic crashes claimed the lives of 118 individuals within our 10-county TxDOT Corpus Christi district. And whereas each citizen holds the power to contribute to ending the daily toll of traffic deaths by practicing safe driving habits such as not speeding, refraining from impaired driving, putting away cell phones, buckling up, and obeying all traffic laws. And whereas it is the earnest aspiration of Aransas County and the Texas Department of Transportation to witness the cessation of fatalities on Texas roadways. And whereas we steadfastly believe that collectively we can effect meaningful and life-saving changes within our community, one driver at a time. Now, therefore, pursuant to the powers vested in the Aransas County Commissioners Court, we do hereby proclaim the month of November 2023 as In the Street Month in Aransas County and employ all citizens to join in observing November as In the Street Month. We urge all drivers to adopt safe driving practices and affirm together our commitment to working tirelessly to end the streak of daily deaths on Texas roadways. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castellani,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo. Aye. Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Now we'll take a vote.
Plenty of orange. Yes, we'll get them all.
We got to get the workers over.
Yeah. Maybe we are. Gentlemen. All right, move on to item number 3, which is a presentation from the Historic Commission.
Good morning, Judge Garza, Commissioners.
Morning.
I am so excited. I've been so excited for 2 weeks to make this announcement. This summer, myself, Cheryl Livingston, Betty Stiles, and David Murrah got together and nominated somebody for a Texas Historical Commission Award. And we just found out 2 weeks ago, and I can't believe we kept it a secret for 2 weeks in a small county, that this individual actually won the Ruth Lester Lifetime Achievement Award. It is the second highest historical commission award in the state of obviously Texas. And I am very, very honored, privileged, and proud to announce that Pam Stranahan is our winner. I want to read, this is just a synopsis of her achievements. Pam Wheat Stranahan continues opening our eyes to long forgotten stories, people, and waves of life that help shape Texas and our nation. She ceaselessly encourages us to seek, not forget our past through her many educational publications, which includes numerous books, a PBS program, many exhibits, and oral histories. But moreover, in retirement, Pam's dedication, historical understanding, and talent shines in every position she holds. From serving in her many prestigious professional career positions to retirement positions such as president, vice president, and founding member of the Friends of the History Center for Aransas County, as well as Aransas County Historical Commission chairperson, to being named as a fellow for the Texas Archaeological Society, and everything in between. Pam does it all with skill, finesse, excitement, and fortitude. She is this county's favorite historian, and no one, I'm sorry to get choked up. And no one can hold a candle to her knowledge and dedication in preserving Aransas County history. Also, I just want to let you know, here's her who she's in company with. Notable people that have won this award. Lady Bird Johnson was one of the very first winners. Nellie Conley, John Ben Shepherd, who was an attorney general, Texas State Attorney General, and then the Bass brothers. So there's some pretty famous people that she's in company with. She will be presented this award in April at the Real Places conferences in August, and you will be getting a phone call probably tomorrow, because I asked them to stop, not to stop call. I didn't want them to call you before we made this announcement, but I can't believe we did this, but. So you take a picture.
Sure, yeah. Thank you so much. I can only say, I really depended on the local historians like Bubba Casterline and Jerry Brundrett, who have been long-time residents here, who really have given me the background that I needed. And all of these organizations that I participated with are the ones that are doing the work. And I really just have to say thank you to all of them too.
Thanks. Would you like to come up for a picture and we can, all right.
Everybody.
Looks like. Come on up.
Phil should get up there too, yeah. Pam,
Quiet, huh?
Pam, we should have brought your cardboard friends and stood them around too.
We got a whole bunch of history folks here. Come on, guys.
Maureen, Jennifer.
All right. Anybody that has a history.
Read the email.
Great, you did a great job.
All right, we'll move on to item number 4.
I move to accept proclamation P 2023, recognizing November 13th, 2023 as Geographic Information Systems Day.
Second.
And motion got a second. Morning.
This is proclamation P 2023 Geographic Information Systems Day. Whereas the Aransas County Commissioners Court recognizes that an understanding of use and application of geospatial technology is crucial to operating our infrastructure, sustaining our natural resources, and stimulating economic growth, thus benefiting the welfare of the general public throughout the coastal bend. And whereas Geographic Information System, or known as GIS, technology allows us to see and model complex relationships and patterns to more intelligently respond. And whereas there is a need to promote geographic information systems awareness, education, and technical training to use this rapidly developing technology to its full potential. Whereas the Aransas County Commissioners Court acknowledges those that have chosen geographic information systems as their profession or as part of their discipline to improve the lives of our citizens. And whereas to recognize and support the efforts of nonprofits who work on activities to improve conservation, human services, and various humanitarian efforts to better our world. And whereas having a day of geographic information systems activities open to students, citizens, and government leaders will help promote science, technology, engineering, and math, known as STEM, education, and inspire others to a higher calling to use technology for good. And whereas the Aransas County Commissioners Court is committed to utilizing geographic information systems to inform decision-making and better serve its residents and make useful geographic information open and easily available to the public as a platform for innovation. Now, therefore, we, the Aransas County Commissioners Court, do hereby proclaim the 13th of November, 2023 as Geographic Information Systems Day.
Thank you.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Move on to the consent agenda.
Judge.
Yes,
we
sir.
Have our own GIS professional here too, the county.
Demery.
Oh, okay. Come on. Oh, okay. Take a photo.
Should David come up too?
David, you want to get in the picture?
We did it all.
Oops. Thank you. Thanks. All right, do I have a motion for the consent agenda?
I move to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second it.
Got a motion, we got a second. I want to recognize a couple of donations. We've got a donation of animal supplies valued at $130 from Missy Fox for Aransas County Animal Care. We've got a donation of kitten supplies valued at $130 from Karen Small for Aransas County Animal Care. And we've got a donation of $1,200 worth of food from Pet Wants for The Pack Gives Back food drive for Aransas County Animal Care. County Clerk.
The library.
This is us. This is us donating them to the friend, or is that from the Friends? We're donating to the Friends, but
Okay.
okay.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castleline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo, Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 10.
I move to approve accepting $11,484 from the 36th Judicial District Juvenile Probation Department for funds sent to the San Patricio County Detention Center for housing a juvenile from Aransas County pursuant to Senate Bill 30 of the 88th Legislature regular session, which provides reimbursement of cost in counties for whom the Texas Juvenile Justice Department does not have adequate capacity.
I'll second it.
Got a motion, got a second. We have Miss Charity Franco here. She's the Director of Juvenile Services. If you have anything to say.
Good morning.
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 This $11,484 is coming from our state. We have housed y'all's juveniles on a daily basis. This young man was committed to the Texas Juvenile Justice Department. After 30 days that we've housed him waiting to go to the Texas Juvenile Justice Department, the state started reimbursing us. The reimbursement rate is $319 a day. That is what I'm returning to this county for housing him while he's pending to go to the state. You pay us a daily rate to keep him, but we're gonna give this back to y'all.
Thank you.
Great.
Is this a one-time thing or is this something y'all do often? Because I don't remember ever seeing it.
So this is a new thing for the
Oh.
state. When the Texas Juvenile Justice Department was not able to start taking the kids in the past, we would commit them one day, they were gone the next.
Mhm.
After COVID, they have not been able to just take the kids immediately. So some of them had waited up to 100 days, some of them have waited longer. This young man waited for 66 days. So after they realized, you know what, we're making you keep them. Your counties are paying to house them. Really, they're committed to the state. It's the state's responsibility. So this was a new initiative that they have done. We've never seen it done before. Don't know if it'll continue, but they at least did it this time for us. So we just feel like this is the right thing to do.
Well, this is a good step towards the state recognizing some of the unfunded, not really unfunded mandates, but some of the charges that counties across the state get set with. And I think this is a good step.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Ms. Franco.
Can I give you the check?
Sure.
Do you want the check?
Oh, thank you so much. See, good seeing you.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castleline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo, Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 11.
I move to approve a report submitted by Dr. Jean-Fei Louis of the University of Texas Marine Science Institute and Adrian Hilmy of the Coastal Bend Bays and Estuaries Program pursuant to the contract for sediment and water quality testing and analysis at Port Bay. This report will provide information about available data collected and analyzed since the interim report that we received in May of 2023.
Second.
Got a motion, got a second. Good morning, doctor.
Good morning.
Good morning. I wish I was a doctor. I'm
Oh,
not. That
okay.
is-
Oh, I thought you were new. Oh,
I'm
my bad.
relying on the
Adrian.
doctor to do a lot of the data analysis.
Good morning, Adrian.
And so, first of all, Judge Garza, commissioners, thank you for the opportunity to come speak to you and provide an update on the work that we've been conducting. I have a brief presentation here. And so briefly, just kind of a refresher on the purpose of the study. So a little over a year and a half ago, concerned stakeholders and citizens in Aransas County reached out to the UTMSI and the estuary program regarding concerns about contamination from those bauxite retention ponds adjacent to Port Bay. Thanks to funding from Aransas County, the Aransas County Navigation District and the estuary program, we funded about a year and a half study here to look at the water quality in that bay, water and sediment quality, as well as sample some of the oyster tissue to try to determine if there are any concerns or if the concerns are justified, and then what levels are we seeing for a broad range of pollutants. So some of the pollutants associated with those types of retention ponds include mercury, mainly mercury, radium, uranium, and what we call PAHs, or polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. But then, of course, there are other contaminants as well. And so we're looking at both sediment, groundwater, and surface water in and around Port Bay in this study. So for the PAHs, again, this is a very broad and complex kind of chain of contaminants, and includes thousands of different compounds. But again, the main ones that we're concerned with here are the ones that would be the highest concentrations from these retention ponds are the PAHs and mercury. Oop. One too many times. So we are sampling from 8 sites within Port Bay, as well as 4 sites along adjacent to those ponds on the ground. And so again, looking at sediment, groundwater, and surface water, or 5 sites on the ground, sorry. And so all of this has been covered. I presented on this last time. This is a picture of one of the researchers collecting a soil core, and you can see that groundwater, pore water there in the picture on the right. And so for the groundwater results, the results that we've gotten since I last presented, I believe back in April, haven't really changed. Site B, which is, if I go back, which is closest to those ponds, you can see it on the leftmost. That's the site where we're consistently seeing the highest concentrations of radium and uranium. I mean, that's overall, these concentrations are either aren't excessively high, but since we are seeing these higher concentrations closest to the ponds, we can't completely exclude that there's been some seepage or leaking from those ponds. Mercury overall in the groundwater is below detection limit and well within the EPA contamination limit for drinking water. Concentrations of PAHs in the soil, I presented some preliminary analysis, preliminary discussion of these data at the last presentation, but we're still seeing concentrations in the soil that are relatively low or at acceptable levels. And again, the pHs that we are seeing seem to be coming from or suggest some sort of oil source or partial combustion. That's not unusual in this area with a lot of oil extraction throughout the Texas coastal bend. We tend to see some of these higher concentrations in our sediments. PAH's concentrations in Coconut or in Port Bay, sorry. I presented this again last time, but we're seeing an interesting dynamic in Port Bay where the concentrations in the sediments are pretty low, but the concentrations of PAHs in the water column are much higher. This is very different from other bay systems that have seen higher PAH concentrations. This is probably due to how shallow Port Bay is, and you're constantly getting resuspension of those sediments into the water column. And so that's something to monitor.
Question.
Yes.
How, what's a reasonable expectation of a normal sample would the pH be? PAHs be? I mean, how,
So, I mean, that's tricky where as far as the regulatory agency approved levels for surface waters, it's not exactly clear. And so what we work off of is the drinking water standard, which is we see here 0.2 parts per billion. We're at 21 parts per billion, but no one's drinking Port Bay water on a regular basis. And so we would, of course, like to see this lower. I don't think that the concentrations we're seeing are a cause for alarm, but I'm not a toxicologist also. And so I think as we get more information from the oyster tissue sampling, that's going to be revealing. And so here just showing we're much higher in the water compared to other bay systems. We're also looking at nutrients in Port Bay. This is something that as part of our kind of status and trends for all bay systems along the coast, Port Bay jumped out as a bay with increasing nutrient levels. You often see this in areas with increasing urbanization. And so overall, Port Bay nutrient levels are increasing. We're seeing higher levels of algae growth in the system, both in the summer and winter times. Different types of algae are growing, but that's something to monitor, and especially as communities grow in the area, and is something that can and should be factored into stormwater considerations.
Yeah. Is this something that in the area that y'all sampled is unusually high or unusual to the entire Port Bay system, or is that Port Bay system kind of along this line?
So what we're seeing, coast-wide nutrient levels are increasing going to the bay, just as we see increased urbanization, water's being routed kind of directly into the bays to reduce flooding and other things like that. Nutrient levels in Port Bay, this is part of other work that the estuary program has done, seems to be increasing faster than some other bay systems. It's not the highest concentrations that we're seeing along the coast, but it's something to monitor moving forward.
So say a quarter mile or half a mile away from these sampling sites, would we expect to see the nutrient level about the same, or depend on the depth of the?
I see. So because of the way Port Bay is, I mean, it's a pretty enclosed bay, and you can get kind of reduced circulation, let's say, compared to Copano Bay. So we are seeing higher concentrations in Port Bay than in Copano Bay. Yes.
Okay.
Typically, the larger the bay, the more circulation there is, those concentrations are going to.
So could we assume that this concentration here would be relatively neutral throughout that, say, quarter of the, so this 21, we could see it 50 yards away or 150 yards away or a quarter mile away or somewhere in that area. I mean, it's not concentrated right in this area, or is it concentrated right in this area?
You mean within Port Bay compared to
Well,
outside of?
This area from your sample site.
Okay. So for the
Compared to-
sample sites, if I quickly go back to the maps, they're spread out throughout Port Bay.
Okay.
There we go. So we have those 8 sampling sites spread out, pretty much site 1 is all the way at the bottom of Port Bay. Site 8 goes all the way out to Swan Lake, and site 7 is right at the mouth of Port Bay as it meets Copano Bay. So these sites were located to try and get kind of a representative distribution of water quality changes within Port Bay itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
You specify the isotope for radium, but you don't specify an isotope for uranium.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
John Seffern. I used to do this for a living in the Air Force, but you don't specify a isotope for the uranium. Do you happen to know what that is? That's bad stuff, by the way.
Yeah. So the reason that the isotope for radium is specified is because we see that specific isotope. As for uranium, we are, and again, Dr. Liu is not here today, but we're looking at uranium, across the board, not just that specific isotope that's produced. Yeah, exactly.
So do y'all take into consideration that the watershed for Port Bay basically goes all the way to Ingleside?
So
And
we're not
where
doing any
Lowe's is-
testing up into the watershed. We're
Uh-huh.
just locally here. So there could be influences from higher in the watershed. Absolutely. We can't exclude that.
The primary ditch to drain Ingleside comes right by Kiewit and through that area there. So I would suspect that that would influence to some degree, but that is a long ways.
It is, and so with a lot of, especially the testing on land that we've done, it's very localized adjacent to those retention ponds. And then, but you're absolutely right, as for the testing in Port Bay itself, that's going to be particularly influenced by everything in the watershed.
Well, that's something that we probably ought to consider looking at as a watershed area, because the city of Ingleside is having a definite problem with that ditch and it not being wide enough. And I know that there's some ongoing studies with them and the Port of Corpus Christi and some other people that are talking about widening and doing some other things with those ditches and maybe doing some aquatic cleanup of those ditches, because it goes through a large area of cattle and other non-point source pollution things. But the reason I ask that is whenever we ask for the survey, and I think y'all done a very good thing, we wanted to, at the time we asked for what's in the red beds. Okay. Well, it don't get in the red beds from the west. It comes in from the south, basically. So what you're basically saying is, from whatever it comes in, this is what you're seeing at that particular collection point and the subsequents in the Port Bay. So it kind of gives us an idea of how Port Bay is being affected by other things other than the red beds.
Absolutely. So I think depending on the contaminant, some of those, again, the mercury, radium, and uranium can be more directly attributed to what is being stored in those red beds. Things and the PAHs, although those are more broadly produced than those first three contaminants. Nutrients are going to be influenced by watershed wide, absolutely.
Okay.
And so just briefly here, this is the look of at chlorophyll A in Port Bay. Again, this is essentially algae growth in the system. It's used as a proxy for overall nutrient loading. And this is just to show that there's a seasonal cycling, which is not uncommon at all. We see that warmer months, colder months, you either have an increase in some species, a decrease in others. And then overall, we're seeing elevated chlorophyll, but we're not seeing typically what you'll see when you really start to get very high chlorophyll A levels is when you have the die off of that algae, you get low dissolved oxygen, you end up with fish kills. We're not seeing that yet. We're not specifically looking for that, but looking at kills and spills reporting and things like that from the state of Texas, we're not seeing a lot of fish kills and things like that would be associated with
the depth, the water depth plays a lot. That's fairly shallow. Although if that was going into 20-foot or 60-foot water, you wouldn't see this as badly, right?
Absolutely. So the shallow water depth, the enclosed nature of the bay leads to kind of these contaminants getting there and staying there. Shallow depth, you have nutrients in the sediments too that are constantly getting resuspended.
Okay.
So with less flushing, shallow water depth, that certainly plays a role. And this is just further talking about the kind of the change in algae communities based on the season, with diatoms being the dominant bloom in the wintertime, and then cyanobacteria dominating the southern months. We see this in other bays as well. This kind of change is not uncommon. As for mercury and oyster tissue, so I believe this is based off of one sampling event. We have other samples that are out for analysis now. But you'll see, so we are detecting mercury in the oyster tissues in Port Bay, or oyster samples in Port Bay. They are considerably lower than the highly elevated oysters that have been sampled in Matagorda Bay. And so this is something that we want to, or that we'll continue to produce more data on. It's something to be aware of and to monitor, especially as I've mentioned a couple times with how shallow that bay is. All of these things get resuspended and are being filtered by oysters in that bay. Again, how this compares to, for example, Copano Bay. We're not sampling out there. I can't, draw any conclusions there. I know the health department samples oyster tissue out there regularly, and as far as I know, there haven't been elevated concentrations out in Copano Bay. And so just briefly, kind of a list of conclusions. So, overall, the levels of mercury, uranium, and radium-226 in groundwater were lower or within the EPA drinking water standards. However, we're consistently seeing Site B, the site closest to the tailing ponds, having higher contamination levels, suggesting that, so we can't completely rule out that there isn't anything coming from those beds. Total concentrations of the PAHs varies from 73 to 193. In general, this range is acceptable. I would say it's not an order of magnitude above what we're seeing in other bays. In fact, it's a little lower than what we reported in April as we've been getting more data. Again, the dynamics of the PAHs in the bay are interesting in that they're mostly in the water column versus in the sediments, which is where we would expect to see them usually. The nutrient levels, again, aren't extremely high, but that has to do with them being uptaken by those algae blooms. So the chlorophyll levels, again, are kind of a proxy that we used to look at. They're not the chlorophyll levels or algae levels are not at an alarmingly high level, but it is something to continue to monitor moving forward. Total mercury in general is within typical ranges, except for Matagorda, which is that extremely high concentration outlier. And again, in this case, Site 3, which is closest to those tailing ponds within the bay itself, had the highest concentrations of mercury. We're going to continue working. We, I believe, have one more sampling event in 2 weeks. I'll be going out with the researchers on that day. Hopefully the weather is better then than it is today. And then we have a final report that we'll be submitting to the county in March of 2024.
So do you see the algae that you're talking about retaining any of these chemicals?
Not those other pollutants, not the mercury, uranium. You're going to see those in the oyster tissue. The algae, it's mainly just a nutrient uptake process. And the thing to watch with that algae growth is when you get the bloom and the die off, that's when you'll get those low dissolved oxygen. You start seeing effects on fish populations. And with that, I'm happy to take any questions.
Oh, come on up to the podium, sir.
Phil?
Your name and your address, sir.
The red dust itself, have you analyzed how dangerous it is by itself?
So we don't have access to those red beds. We haven't sampled, within it. And so we're not able to sample the red dust itself. What we would see at these sites, either adjacent to the beds or in the bay, would be potentially either blown out by high winds, which you'll see if there isn't enough ground cover, or may have seeped out due to flood or leaks in the bay.
Adrian, doesn't TCEQ sample directly in the red bed?
So yeah, TCEQ, sampled in the red bed, I believe in the mid 2000s. I think it's the responsibility of it's Alcoa, whatever the company now that it's Alcoa. I think it's the responsibility of Alcoa to sample and report that to TCEQ. And they are mandated to have I think it's about a 20-year process to determine how they're going to close those beds. But we're not involved with those regulatory
Thank you.
issues.
Well, you know what they did to mitigate this in Ingleside, right? They pumped sewage into those beds over there and they're growing a complete cover of palm trees. And if you drive by there, you see palm trees growing out in their bed. And that's the biggest problem they had over there was blowing, the red dust blowing.
Mhm.
And that hasn't been done over here. It seems to me like that would be the best thing we could do.
So that's definitely a strategy to reduce the dust. I know they'll put hay and other, just brush plant materials down to help reduce that dust cover. Again, we're not part of those mitigation strategies.
But it seems
but
like
that's-
if you get some danger from the red dust, mostly because it'd be blowing. You do have seepage into the ground. You have seepage into the groundwater.
So that's what we've been tasked to look at, both seepage in the groundwater as well as during flood events. This all kind of came from some concerns in the satellite imagery following Hurricane Harvey and the high water levels and heavy rainfall experienced during that time. But so it's kind of a twofold question, this could be coming from dust getting blown out as well as leakage or heavy rain events.
So we don't know for sure, but wouldn't the main pollutant be from the blowing?
I can't comment on that. I'm
It
not
just
sure.
seems like it might be another, of course, you're telling how far from the beds the pollution is.
So we're trying to quantify to see, if there is a significant contamination related to those beds.
Hey, Phil, can you state your full name and your address for the county clerk, please?
I'm Bill Stranahan. I live in Fulton, Texas at 1201 Mesquite Street.
All right, thank you, sir.
I had a question.
The reason I have these
Commissioner.
questions, because I work with Dr. Earl Matthew, who was the medical director there for years, and I know their efforts they made. This dust is, start with bauxite, and then they extract a little. And the reason they had to store this stuff is because there's nothing else they could do with it. It's chemically inert. It won't combine with anything. They had a project one time to use it to make lightweight concrete. There's several ways to make lightweight concrete. One is you pump water into it, make it lighter. And that worked, but it turns out they didn't have a way to ship it to a plant that makes concrete. So they were just stuck with this stuff. And and I know that at one time it was so bad in Ingleside that they paid the employees to have their cars washed once a week because it, covered the cars out there where they work. So, but it seems like if it was really dangerous, those people would have died from it because they worked in it. I'm just curious to how dangerous the stuff by itself is, really, because it's the end of a manufacturing process that has been, everything out of the bauxite has been used that they could use.
So I will say, again, I'm not a toxicologist, but, these byproducts are associated with, especially long-term exposure, are associated with increased cancer rates and other, serious health problems.
Yeah.
As far as how long you need to be exposed and to what concentrations, I'm not sure. We're just trying to provide some base level concentrations out in Port Bay and in the area.
Well, I'm concerned about the quality of the water also because of for the fish, but it seems like if it was really dangerous, that would have been a lot more problem in history than it is. Who knows? But you have not really analyzed the dust itself.
No, so we're not sampling within those retention ponds themselves. So we're only able to look at what or if anything has come out of those ponds and then how concentrated that is in the environment. And then if there are any spatial changes as you get further from those ponds.
But we have a large history of pollution from the oil industry also. So it seems like we need to really separate those two for sure. I mean,
and so that's something where the PAHs, there's definitely contributions from both. I think by looking at mercury, uranium, and radium, that's more directly related to those bauxite retention ponds.
okay, great, thanks.
Thanks, Phil. Commissioner?
Yes.
On your conclusion sheet, you said the concentrations of total mercury are within typical ranges found in Texas. And then also you said in site 3, close to the tailing pond had the highest concentration. But when you had your other data here, it says mercury concentration was below the detection limit for the EPA contaminant level. So is that within, even though location 3 was pointed out, it's still within
It's still within the EPA standards.
Okay.
It's just noteworthy that the highest concentrations are
But
closest.
the highest one was still within the
Still within-
maximum,
Yes, sir.
below the maximum.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So I think
How
overall
far
it's
below?
relatively encouraging, but
Okay.
How far below the maximum was it proportionately? I mean, like
I need to
20% lower?
refer
or-
back to my slides here. I'll need to double check on that.
Yeah, could you do that and let the court know? Because,
Yeah.
you know, it's all right to say we're below the maximum or minimum standards, but if you're 15 points below, that's one thing. If you're 0.5 points below, that's something entirely different.
Yeah, absolutely. I can follow up with the court about that. It is worth noting again that all of these EPA standards are for drinking water rather than surface waters. So,
Okay, thank
but
you.
I'll be glad to follow up about that.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time and your report.
Good
Thank you.
presentation.
Thank you, Adrian.
Thank you all.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 12.
Move to approve the Rockport Cultural Arts District report for the third quarter of 2023.
I'll
I
second
second
it.
that.
Got a motion, got a second. Ms. Day, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. Thank you for your time and your support of the Cultural District initiatives. We've got a lot of really cool stuff coming up and share with you. So we continue to have our wonderful little landmark depot in the middle of the Cultural District. There are the visitor numbers there for you. We've continued to collect artifacts, which is very interesting. You never know what you're going to get. People walk in. We just got our oldest railroad, San Antonio Aransas Pass Railroad, dated 1900, which is pretty cool. We had an exhibit opening of the Delmar. The Delmar was the largest built structure at the time in the state of Texas. A lot of people don't realize that. Right here in Rockport, we had Janie White, who was the great granddaughter of the last owner, come and speak with us, a very rare opportunity. We also got that in video, so we'll have that as a historical document. Continuing to work with GLO on the cistern, Clean Coast, Texas. That is currently targeted for February of next year. There's the Delmar, quite a grand structure. We also tried something new this summer with the train rides at the beach. That was kind of interesting. A lot of fun, just another offering in the district. I had a lot of prep for our Ford Model T annual event. It's taken quite over a year to plan this thing. It was a lot of fun. You'll hear a lot of details in next quarter's report. We just dedicated this mural in the Cultural District at Daily Grind Courtyard. We continue to add attractions to our existing attractions, which are noted here. Continue with the second Saturdays. We had live music. We had the train. It's just a lot of fun, a lot of different things to lure both locals and visitors into the district. We also came up with a video. This is our second video, and we're actually working on another one with the ultimate goal of having a Rockport YouTube channel, which will focus and showcase all of these. So Colin, are you able to show this 2-minute video? Thank you. Thank you. It was a lot of fun. We have a very young professional videographer on our board of directors now, has been for quite some time, and she did this. And she's working on another one for us. One of the things I want to point out is that we are partnering with other entities like Pathways. We've made a statement that we will definitely, support and market theirs, and Aransas First. So we're very inclusive from that perspective. You can tell this is not just the district. So this is really promoting Rockport and Fulton. We're glad to do it.
My kids really enjoyed the Model Ts and stuff. We were coming back from Aransas, and my oldest grandson said, Papa said, what's wrong with that wheel up there on that car? And I said, what? And the bearing was going out, and it was going like that, and the steering was going like this, and the guy never even noticed it, so he stopped the guy behind him and told him, and he said, I'll catch him, and come find out that wheel was just about to come off.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we actually lost one of those Model Ts that burned up while it was here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was part of the delay in our parade, but yeah. So that's 100-year-old technology. It's very cool to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to move on to our cultural interface sculpture, which is quite a landmark sculpture. And I want to thank the county specifically for your help. You've helped in several ways with this sculpture project. It will be unveiled within the next month. And so we're getting very, very close if you've driven by and seen the base. I put a little teaser in here so you could see those sculptures. There's a picture of it, of the Native American sculptures. So we're getting real close. Smithsonian Museum on Main Street. This is a picture of the four of us who went to Austin to represent Rockport. We're pulling that together, and we're all working we're collaborating together, all these different entities. We did get awarded monies for the City of Rockport Main Street Park, which will be in the district, and as well as the Center for the Arts got a cultural district grant. So a total of $85,000. That's not bad. And we will continue to partner with other organizations and seek cultural district grants. This is just, well, I won't say just a list, it's quite a list, I should say, of all of the entities located within the 44 block area of the cultural district. I believe we're the only one with the beach park in the state of Texas, but there's just a tremendous amount of assets. This is the model that I'm using. I'm using actually a half of this model, which is produced by Deb Prote and Helen Thompson for the chamber. So with all the murals, with all the things that we do, all these residuals that we cannot just be on the street taking zip codes, we are using this as a model for our zip codes, in addition to the specific ones from the depot in our events. We continue to grow Facebook with followers and with Depot. Continue to market, as I mentioned a Rockport channel. We're continuing to work on that, as well as promotionals through social media. We continue to lead the meetings for the merchants, which is very important to make sure everybody's on the same page, or at least we have some collaboration with the groups. We do different themes. It certainly is a part of our second Saturday to have themes, and they participate in them. Here's one where we did in September, the Scarecrow Decorating Contest, and each of these supported a local nonprofit. The first one supported Family Crisis Center. Next one was Habitat for Humanity, and the last one was Wings Rescue. Something fun to do, collaborative. Here's our financials. And there's the board of directors. Do I have questions?
you know, just a comment, I know the airport board has been looking at promoting it more, and that'd be a good hook for y'all too, because a lot of people don't realize they don't have to drive from wherever, they can fly into our airport.
Mhm.
And when they see this, it all would tie together real well.
Well, you know, and that's interesting because Chief Stevens said he's actually using it as a recruiting tool for police officers. It's also being used very widely by real estate agents to lure people here as well. So it's a fun project to be able to showcase, you know, there's no downside to it. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Jennifer.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Cheney?
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline?
Aye.
Commissioner Russo?
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick?
Aye.
Judge Garza?
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 13.
I move to approve the fiscal year 2023-2024 interlocal agreement with the Regional Public Defender's Office for capital criminal cases, funded in part by the Texas Indigent Defense Commission multi-year discretionary grant program funds, and in part by program participants, to provide court-appointed counsel for individuals charged with the offense of capital murder in the participating counties and who cannot afford to hire their own attorneys. Cost for services is based on our 2020 census numbers and the latest 10-year capital case data reported by our district clerk, which was October 1st, 2010 through September 30th, 2020, with $5,661 being Aransas County's cost share.
Second.
Got a motion, got a second?
I do want to clarify that that cost given, 5,661, is for year one of the agreement. This is a 2-year agreement, so the total is just under $12,000 for the 2 years. I think your motion is still acceptable. I just wanted to point out that's 1 year's cost, 1 year cost.
And you said the second year would be the same amount?
I think it's exactly the same, but if not, it's still just under 12,000 for both years, I recall. Do you have any questions about what the grant is, or pardon me, what the program is?
Did we get a second?
Second.
Okay.
No, Dupnick second.
Yeah, Commissioner Dupnick gave a second.
Okay. I just had a question about on the letter from Edward Ray Keith with the Regional Public Defender. It mentioned that it was due back on September 30th of this year, and the payment was due 30 days after that, which would be October 30th. Are we still going to be compliant with this?
I had the same question you had, but this was the first time that I was aware of this item. I think it came to Tracy.
It didn't come to me when they said we should have.
Yeah, nobody can hear Tracy, so I'm going to repeat it on the microphone. Just because the letter is dated that date, that wasn't the date that it was received by Aransas County. So we received it well after the dates listed in the letter. I think we're going to be fine, however. This is something that does run through the fiscal year, but they know we're good for it, and I think they're expecting our check.
Okay. I noticed that there was no date on the letter.
Yes, this is a
that,
renewal.
Mr. Keith sent us, which was curious.
Yeah, this is a renewal of an ongoing project that we participate in. And it's worthy to note that we haven't had a capital murder case anytime in the recent past. And we hope that we will not have those types of cases. But participating at this cost is money well spent. If we ever do have a case like that, it can cost a lot more money than you can even fathom to defend a case like that. So it would definitely pay for itself and then some, probably 100 times over.
Thank you.
Commissioner Cheney?
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline?
Aye.
Commissioner Russo?
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick?
Aye.
Judge Garza?
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 14.
Move to approve change order number 6 to the construction contract for the Copano Heights project between Aransas County and KC Lease Service Incorporated, DBA Matagorda Construction and Materials, funded by the county's General Land Office Community Development Block Grant Disaster Relief, contract number 20-065-098-C270 to increase the time of contract by 34 days.
I'll second that.
Got a motion, got a second. Good morning, Ms. Reed.
Good morning. Any questions?
The reason for this extension?
They're not finished. You know, they did have a change order that added a few things in it, a couple of courts ago. They are about finished. We're gonna have our final walkthrough on Thursday, and the project should be finished. You know, there might be something that comes up from that walkthrough, but it's substantially done.
The final walkthrough is this Thursday, you said, or next Thursday?
Tentatively, yes. I mean, it's moving parts, but yeah, that's the plan.
They seem to be virtually finished, other than
They are,
whatever we might come up with.
yeah.
Is this the one where we did additional piping and,
Safety and treatment was the
Okay.
last.
so we made improvements to this because there was some money still available in the grant, which is most likely the reason for the extension.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. The
Commissioner
number
Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 14.
I move to approve the permitting the road and bridge department solicited bids for road materials.
I'll second that.
Got a motion, got a second.
This is our annual materials bid.
Any
How we
questions?
doing, how we doing on inventory right now? We getting down to pretty much to the end?
It's November, so yeah, we're
So
getting.
my
low.
road's gonna be next year, right?
Right.
All right.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 16.
Move to approve change order number 1 with contractor Gerke Excavating Incorporated. Contractor misinterpreted the engineer's intent for bidding the double barrel box culverts, which result in underbidding the item on the construction contract for East Linden from the county's general land office, community development block grant disaster relief contract number 20-065-098-C270. Engineer and staff discuss the error and agree that the change order is warranted to increase the approved cost by $433,774.39, which will increase the total contract price to $2,265,183.19 to $2,698,957.58.
I'll second that.
Got a motion.
Sizable amount. What?
Got a motion, got a second.
David, is this an obvious mistake they should have caught, or is it because are we a little bit different, can't get the volume with a single conduit, or what?
What the problem is the item in question was a double-barreled culvert. And the unit in the plans that the engineers assigned was measured from head wall to head wall. The contractor thought that was the overall length of the both sets of boxes end to end and bid it that way. So he bid half the amount that he should have. He was still the low bid, even had he bid it correctly. And we are doing a double, so we assumed that it was an honest mistake and he should be compensated for what he actually is putting in the ground.
Well, is he sharing with us in any of the cost of this mistake?
Not that I'm aware of.
There's one way that he would be, Commissioner, and it's the total amount of change orders allowed for the contract over the life of the project. This will reduce it down to only about $188,000 remaining
Right.
legally for us to issue any change orders if additional changes are needed. So if additional changes are needed and it exceeds that amount, I'm assuming he will take a hit there.
He will. I did
So
talk.
we're still within our.
We are. And I talked to the contractor the other day and told him, this is how much we have for change orders. So don't ask for more. This is it.
But you said this is still the lowest bid.
This is still the lowest bid, yeah. And we've used the contractor on another project and they've been really good, so.
They seem to be doing a good job.
Yeah, they did the Bahia Bay.
And the reason for the double barrel type deals is because of the required depth. If you use single, you would have to use something much bigger. Or-
Yes, yes.
Are we, because of our shallow water table here, are we going more and more to double culverts and different things like that?
Yeah, when we start really looking at the design, double barrels fit better. You know, we're so flat and water table, but yeah.
I know especially down in my precinct, well, not especially, but down in my precinct, once you get south of 188, it gets really flat. And there's a lot of places where it's not that they don't have drainage, it's just that they need more depth to get the drains down faster.
Right.
But they can't get it.
Right.
So is this something we're gonna maybe start doing on double driveways, on driveways and things?
We do occasionally do it on driveways. Driveways aren't necessarily designed to the same flood frequency that these big box crossings.
Right, it's
are.
not collection
Yeah.
area,
Right.
it's a transfer area.
But we
Okay.
do use double barrel on occasion.
Well, I'm
Sometimes
just-
that's what you have to fit.
I'm just wondering that if, in some of that area, throughout all 4 precincts, that maybe we need to start looking at double culverts, rather a smaller double culvert than a larger single culvert. It's just a question.
Right, we do look at what size it needs and how it fits in there the best way, and we put a lot of double barrel pipes and culverts in.
Okay, thank you.
David, just to clarify, this is being paid for with a grant.
Yes,
And from what the Assistant County Attorney said, there was an allocation made for the possibility that there might be change orders with the limit on that amount. This falls within the limit that's available,
correct.
but it will shorten any other change orders that need to be made for this particular project. And the contractor knows that.
Correct.
It's not an allocation made for overages or change orders. It's the limitation under state law for change order amounts, which is 25% of the total value of the contract when the contract exceeds $1 million. So it's not that we've allocated funds for it. It's that perhaps the grant would have funds available. I can't say for sure, but we're limited by law on how much value we can add to the total contract price.
And the grant does have the funds available for this.
Okay. Thank you for that clarification.
Thank you.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 17.
I move to approve a contract with Great America Financial Services Corporation for an upgrade Pitney Bowes postage machine from the current SendPro Mail Center 1500 to the SendPro Mail Center 2000 with no increase in cost.
Second.
Got a motion, got a second?
I have a question. Is this going to be for Colin or Tracy or whom?
That will depend on what your question is.
Oh, there he is.
Wondered. Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Appreciate your time. My name's Rocky Connard. I'm with Pitney Bowes Texas Office Systems.
All right, thank you. My question is in looking at the attachments that came along with the information, our packet, on one page, which is the agreement page, first, it says the monthly payment amount is $785 for 63 months. Then on another page, which is the equipment rental agreement page, it says the payment is $64 a quarter. $64 a quarter is a lot different from $785 a month. So
Those are
I'm
two
curious.
different items. The equipment itself is the $781 per month. And it's the meter for the mail postage. That's the
Correct.
60.
Great America cannot bill for the postage meter. That has to be billed by Pitney Bowes. That's why it's not consolidated into one.
So what is the payment amount currently that we're making that supposedly will not change if we upgrade this equipment?
I don't have the exact.
It's those
I've got it over
exact,
there.
it's those exact figures,
Right.
Commissioner.
Okay, so it's $784 a month for the 63 months of the contract, plus another amount of like $65 a quarter to Pitney Bowes.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, was this taken care of in our 24 budget?
Yes.
It's in our budget, yes, sir.
I also want to mention just briefly that the company was really easy to work with and made a lot of revisions that we requested in their contract. It's not often that we have someone that's so easy to work with, so I just want to thank you
Thank
and
you.
Great American for being willing to do that with
You
us.
put us through the paces, but all's well that ends well.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dukenyak.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 18.
I move to approve amendment number 1 between Aransas County and Grant Works, Inc. to extend the time of the Grant Administration Services contract for FEMA 404 Hazardous Mitigation Grant Program from December 23rd, 2023 until the completion of all tasks issued to the county or May 31st, 2026, whichever is earlier.
Second.
Good morning. This is, I'm
Morning.
John Strothman. This is, the amendment is to just extend the time. It's not, it doesn't have any cash value to it. And the grant administrative fees are paid through the grant.
And John, which 404 hazard mitigation grant program projects are still ongoing?
All of them, 5 years.
So none of them have been completed?
None of them have been up. We have one approved and we're waiting on a budget adjustment, but the rest of them are still back in various stages.
So the Bay Shore stabilization, I'm assuming, is one of those?
Bay Shore Drive, yes, we're just waiting on a budget modification.
Is Shell Creek in there?
Shell Creek. No, Bay Shore is different. I'm sorry. Let me back up. Bay Shore is funded through the TCEQ. It's a Restore Act project. And that we're just waiting on notice to proceed. But the Shell Ridge, Lamar Beach Road, Little Bay, and the 7 generator projects are all in various stages. We're still waiting for approvals. After 5 years, all the budgets have been blown apart between
Thank you.
COVID and inflation.
Thank you. Thanks, John.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dukenyak.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 19.
I move to approve a proposal from COFIL to include mold remediation for Part 2 of Plan Preservation, Imaging and Indexing Services at the additional cost of $3,800.01 and authorize the county judge to sign necessary documents.
I'll second that.
Got a motion, got a second. Good morning.
Any questions?
You gave us quite a bit of information and thank you for that.
This is actually coming in at a lower cost than initially expected, right?
Much lower. I was expecting around $50,000 and it's $3,800. They also, on Wednesday, last Wednesday, I met with the rep for COFIL to assess what is left that wasn't already planned for remediation and restoration, imaging and indexing. And they're going to be taking almost everything. Anything that was not in a filing cabinet is going to go. He is going to try to have no transportation costs by waiting until that they have a truck down in this area already. I don't have a bid yet, but he feels like it will be under $10,000. So that's amazing.
It's quite a drop.
It's because the infiltration of the mold was less than what we expected. The quick work with Renee Russo, I did it twice. Renee Butler. and Mr. Johnson's team to get in there and wipe everything down with a mold killer. And there's some, we can't do it to paper. We can't do it to the books, but every surface that they could clean, they did.
Sounds like a great solution.
Yep.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dukenyak.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 20.
I move to approve October 2023 indigent health report.
Second.
Got a motion, got a second?
Is,
Oh.
is Cartwright online? Okay. My only question was, the report is fine. I just wondered who our new provider would be since Randy Bigham is closing. Can I ask that question? or-
We aren't going to have a new provider. He is going to continue to provide services at the Aransas County Detention Center.
That's great news. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I'm also online. Can you hear me?
I can, thank you.
So as far as the non-inmate patients, we are sending everybody right now to Dr. Smith and Aransas Pass and trying to find another provider that'll accept our program. A general doctor.
All right, so we're still searching.
Yeah, it's different for the, I was confused. Jackie just corrected me. What I was talking about with you, Commissioner Russo, was on our indigent, or pardon me, inmate care. What Alma is speaking to is when we help reimburse indigent individuals for medical expenses, they go to whoever they want.
Okay.
I apologize.
All right.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 21.
I move to approve the September 2023 Aransas County Treasurer's Report.
I'll second it.
Got a motion, got a second? Any questions? All right.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0, 5-0. Item number 22.
I move to approve the third quarter Aransas County Treasurer's investment report.
Second.
Got a motion, got a second?
Any questions on that one?
Are you in the office today?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I have a few questions just apart from this. I'll come see you after court. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 23.
Move to approve the October 2023 Auditor's Monthly Report.
Second.
Got a motion, got a second? Do we have any questions?
I have a question, and I don't know if you can answer this, Jackie, or if it would go to Anna Marshall. But on the page that shows Aransas County Monthly Levy Report, September 2023.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the sum of the uncollected delinquent tax balances is about $717,000. What's the likelihood of our collecting that? Do you have any idea from past experience?
They will continue to collect those throughout the year. I mean, they will always be on there. We have tax sales to help collect those. We also have just people that are paying them. If the property sells, they collect all the back taxes on anything that sells. So they'll always be on the books and always be collecting them month or, when they're due.
Okay, and is this one of the items that Line Barter assists us with?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 24.
I move to approve the renewal of the flood insurance with Wright National Flood Insurance Company beginning January the 1st, 2024.
Second.
Got a motion, got a second?
If y'all have any questions, these are renewals. They did increase about $900 annually per site. We do have 5 sites now. We've got the annex building, the courthouse annex, the detention center, the public safety center, a library, and tax office are the ones that we do cover with flood insurance.
So the total cost for the policies going into 2024 is a little over $29,000. I mean, pulling it from these invoices that you had.
Yeah.
If we keep it at the same level.
Now, we do have a choice and I don't know that it's in here. There's an A and a B option. A option increases, but it only increases the contents portion of it. We have traditionally just stayed with the A option and not going with B because B significantly increases it more than the $900.
Stick with A.
So we'll go with option A.
That would be my
Should we
recommendation.
amend the motion for that or no?
I don't.
And you're stating this will still be within our budget.
Yes, sir. We budgeted an increase on all of the insurance, so this should stay within our budget. Yes.
All right.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 25.
Move to approve the proposed on-site sewer facility fee from $1,000 for illegal modification of septic system.
I'll second that.
Got a motion, got a second. Good morning.
Good morning, Judge Commissioners. When I brought together the fees back in October, this was when I went back to the office, Jeff and I discussed it a little bit further. We've been working with the Short-Term Rental Council or Committee regarding the issues that we're seeing as far as the OSSFs, where homeowners are just attaching little buildings and using them as Airbnbs or short-term rentals and just attaching them to their septic systems. And as you can see from the water usage rates that I included as the background information, that overloads the system. Our office gets numerous calls, voicemails on Sunday afternoons and Monday mornings regarding seepage out onto the property, next door neighbors' properties. So that's just one of the things where we're trying to work with the short-term council. And I feel like if we can start making homeowners aware that you can't just go out there and attach something to your septic, that there's reasons why, I think it'll help deter that and maybe get it a little bit more under control here in the county.
It's a good idea.
It says fee, but is that not a fine instead of a fee?
It's a fee because they're going to have to do a modification to their system. They're going to have to get a new septic design with the septic installer. He's going to have to get a permit. So it's more of a fee that they're going to have to pay.
But if they do all that, it wouldn't be illegal.
Well, their
I mean, I'm just looking at the wordage on the agenda item.
Yeah.
It's because that's what they'll have to do once they've modified it without going through the appropriate steps. So it's more staff time for us to go out and inspect and make sure they're following the steps once we figure out that they've done it illegally.
If they do it illegally, do you ever write tickets or press charges or?
We haven't had it as a fee. What we do is a notice of violation and we go through all of the steps with them. But it hasn't been something where we've been able to document our time or get reimbursed for all of our time basically that we're spending on that. And we're finding it to be much more prevalent this last year as short-term rentals become more popular, especially in the county.
So there is a penalty, but then once they start doing all the modifications, there's going to be a fee for the.
Right. They're going to have to get a new permit for their system once they've got the modifications done with a septic designer and an installer comes out there. And that's another thing in the county. Well, anywhere in Texas, a homeowner in Aransas County is not able to do repairs to their system. We made that overrule a long time ago. And when people go in there and they start tinkering, messing with their septic systems, that's an illegal modification that they're doing to it too. So we're just trying to make homeowners aware.
Appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 26.
I move to approve the proposed closure of the Aransas County Transfer Station on the following dates: December 8, 2023, from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. to allow transfer station employees to attend the county employee Christmas party. 2, revise the 2024 transfer station's holiday schedule. Currently, the transfer station is closed on Wednesday after a Monday holiday. The transfer station is requesting to close on Tuesday after a Monday holiday. Transfer station employees work on Saturdays, unlike other departments, and then have Sunday and Monday as days off. With the current schedule, Transfer station employees work Saturday, off Sunday and Monday, 2 days, work Tuesday, off Wednesday. With the revised schedule, county transfer station employees will work Saturday, be off Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, 3 days. This revision will allow the county transfer station employees the opportunity to enjoy the 3-day holiday weekend with their families, equivalent to the majority of the county employees. Following are the proposed changes to the 2024 transfer station holidays. Tuesday, January 2nd, 2024. Tuesday, January 16th, 2024. Tuesday, February 20th, 2024. Tuesday, May 28th, 2024. Tuesday, September 3rd, 2024. And Tuesday, November 12th, 2024.
Second.
Get a motion, get a second.
And only changing the schedule if the declared county holiday is on a Monday. If there are other holidays that fall Wednesday, Friday, they'll stay the same as they were on your previous schedule.
Correct.
Okay.
Are these schedule changes, when holidays come along, going to be posted on the county site so people will be aware of that?
Yes, we'd like to be able to put out a signage right now saying that these are going to be the days that we're closed. So we can start distributing that out to people so they'll know for next year.
Okay.
And it's always on the county website. There's a separate calendar for the transfer station.
All right, thank you.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 27.
I move to approve the budget line item transfers for the 2023 budget.
I'll second that.
Got a motion, got a second.
We have none at this time.
All right.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 28.
I move to approve accounts payable and payroll liabilities. Second.
Your motion, got a second?
Payroll and the accounts payable are normal. I would like to point out several of the capital items. But we have Mott McDonald for a total of $21,673.49. This is work for Cedar Bio, which these that I'm talking about now will be refunded, reimbursed by FEMA. Scott Electric was some work at the detention center where we're trying to get that negative pressure in and get that test and balance completed. And that's $5,361.74. That will go towards our insurance that we're having to pay stuff. And PGAL, which is the courthouse, is $11,381.15. We have a check for Mott McDonald for $32,001.23. This is for their engineering oversight on all of the street projects through the GLO grant. Grant connection of $3,720.83. That's for the TCEQ Bayshore Drive project. I lost my other ones here. We have
Jackie, excuse me, on
Yes,
that
ma'am.
Grant Works check,
Yes, ma'am.
did you say the TCEQ Bayshore Drive?
It's grant connection. It's not grant
Oh,
works.
okay.
I had a couple of others and I've just turned around and lost them. No. Sorry, I'm looking for my other ones. I turned my page and lost them. There was a small one, another one for PGAL for, no, it wasn't either, Broadus for the courthouse. There was $18,000. And also for the ARPA money, we had a $475 check to T Baker, the engineers that are working on the water tank for the detention center. And those were the main capital projects that we have going on. We do have a check for $95,000 for the water truck that Road and Bridge was purchasing that was approved by Commissioners Court last meeting.
All right, thank you.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. At this time, we'll hear reports from commissioners, elected officials, and department heads. No action will be taken. Anybody got anything? All right. We'll move on to reports about items of community interest. No action will be taken. All right, well, we'll move on to item number 29. I'll take entertain a motion to go into closed session.
And move to convene into closed session to consult with counsel and receive legal advice about insurance matters related to Aransas County's projects and insurance claims from Hurricane Harvey, including the following: pending litigation, Aransas County, Texas versus Endurance American Specialty Insurance Company et al., Aransas County District Court cause number 23-0021. And number 2, North Star Recovery Service, Inc. versus Aransas County Independent School District and Aransas County. Aransas County District Court cause number 23-0066, consolidated with North Star Recovery Services, Inc. versus HR&R LLC et al. Aransas County District Court cause number 20-0129. And 3, Aransas County versus Kathleen Hicks in her official capacity as Director of the Regional Pool Alliance, Aransas County District Court cause number 23-0069, pursuant to section 551.071 of the Texas Open Meetings Act, which authorizes closed sessions for a governmental body to consult with its attorneys regarding advice on legal matters pertaining to pending or contemplated litigation or a settlement offer, or on a matter in which the duty of the attorney to the governmental body under the Texas disciplinary rules of professional conduct of the State Bar of Texas clearly conflicts with the Open Meetings Act.
And also number 30.
And number 30 also, to deliberate about personnel matters related to the Director of Animal Care Services as authorized by section 551.074 of the Texas Open Meetings Act.
And then I have one correction for the North Star Recovery versus Aransas County ISD case and Aransas County. You said Aransas County District Court cause number 20-0129. It's actually 0159. Do you have a second?
Second.
All right,
5-minute recess.
let's go and vote.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes, and we'll go into a 5-minute recess and reconvene to close.
Do we have some things to sign?
Yes, we do. I'm gonna hand it to Bob and then, well,
Okay.
here, I'll hand it to you. All right, do I have a motion to reconvene to open session?
Second.
Got a motion, got a second? County Clerk? Oh, is she here?
Commissioner
Oh,
Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye. We are back in open session and we have nothing further to discuss. So do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All right.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. We are adjourned. Thank you so much.